This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Friday. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Ray Collins has the day off. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. Good morning, John. Bright and early.
Good morning to you. Yes, it is bright and early. And in fact, if you look up at the sky, maybe not such a bright sky. We have a little bit of cloud cover out there, so the starlight will be somewhat dimmed this morning as the clouds kind of pass on by. Left over from yesterday's showers and thunderstorms, these clouds do not have any rainfall in them, so the morning should be, like the last couple of mornings, fairly dry. Rain showers, however, will start early again today, and we'll look for a decent chance of rain, hit about 30 to 40% today. Daytime highs again top out near 90. We'll talk all about the forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at your first alert traffic this morning. Looks like State Road 70 heading towards I-75, seeing some more cars on the roadway in Manatee County. Looks like the bridges aren't seeing any congestion this morning. 301 also looking clear as we head into Sarasota County. Pretty quiet throughout that area this morning as we head south. We will wait for the maps to update towards that direction. Well, we are having some technical difficulties, so we will keep that in our minds and come back to that here in just a few minutes. Topping our news this hour, professional rowing teams from across the world are packing their bags and heading to the Suncoast for training ahead of the 2017 World Rowing Championships. Soon, residents will start to see some big changes at Nathan Benderson Park with the international event just weeks away. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from Nathan Benderson Park with the very latest. Good afternoon, or good morning, Jess.
Good morning, Jacqueline. In just a few weeks, the first team will arrive here from overseas. That'll be Ukraine. They'll be here on the water training for the 2017 World Rowing Championships. And while the competition may not start until September 24th, these teams will be here much earlier preparing. In the next week, containers will be arriving from overseas with the sculls and shells that the rowers will be using here at Nathan Benderson Park. Also, grandstands and other infrastructure at the park will soon be going up, while finishing touches are being put on the new lookout tower. Tickets are going fast. The World Rowing Championships organization already meeting 80% of their revenue goal a month before the event, but tickets are expected to go even faster in coming weeks. America is one of several countries that still hasn't solidified which rowers will compete.
There are still some countries that have not finalized their rosters for the rowers who will be coming here for the event. So there are still family and friends of these rowers who have, tried out for the national team that don't know if their son, their daughter, their friend will be participating in this event. So once those rosters are finalized, we're going to see a major push in ticket sales.
You can now purchase tickets online for the event. They will be much cheaper online than if you show up to the event and try to purchase tickets. Now, there is an opening ceremony before the competition starts. That'll be on the evening of September 23rd, and you are all invited. I'll give you more information on that coming up at 5:30. For now, reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks so much, Jess. In other news this morning, the city of Bradenton is making plans to knock down a historic house just south of downtown. It's been there for over 100 years, and as our Ray Collins shows us, there are mixed opinions about what to do with this house.
It's kind of sad, and I've had some pictures of it from other times.
Kathy Whaley came by to take a few final pictures of the Covington house. It was built by an African-American carpenter in 1911 named Charlie Covington. No one has lived here since the 1970s. That is, if you don't count the vagrants who seek shelter here, which the city says is not safe. In fact, you can see right through to the second floor through a hole in the ceiling. There have been efforts along the way to preserve this house, but one of the growing problems, literally, is that big oak tree, which is undermining the house's foundation. Still, Carrie says she's glad parts of the house will be preserved.
I was happy to hear they're going to try to do some architectural salvage on it. It's a beautiful house with a lot of beautiful features and craftsmanship worth noting and saving.
There are three different schools of thought here. Some think that certain elements could be preserved. Others say knock it down. And then a third group that says it should be rehabilitated. In fact, that's the opinion of one of these men out enjoying a cold beverage on a hot summer morning. He didn't want his face on camera, but felt since this is one of the oldest African-American houses in Manatee County, it should be saved to inspire kids.
Because it's black owned, and we don't know that black people was doing that type of thing in the past. Yeah. So that will motivate the youth to do something in the future.
Many historians agree this house represents a time and a culture. But with no preservation plan or funding in place and people sneaking in, the end is near, which still makes Carrie quite sad.
I'm kind of just a romantic, though, about the older houses.
In Bradenton, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, 5:06 on your Friday morning, and people on the Suncoast are reacting to yesterday's tragedy in Barcelona. The terror attack killed at least a dozen people and injured many more when a van plowed through a huge crowd in the Las Ramblas district of Barcelona. It hits close to home for some locals who are either from there, have family there, or have visited that area.
It was really scary for us, obviously, because I have my grandma walking around there all the time, my brother, who I miss a lot. And then it was really close by where he works, but thankfully he's okay.
Just the thought of someone trying to hurt people on that street, it's really, really shocking because there's zillions of people going up and down that street, and a lot of them are tourists.
A third suspect has been arrested in that Barcelona terror attack. You can log on to our website at mysuncoast.com for more information. And after the protest and violence in Charlottesville, children may have a lot of questions for parents and teachers. School officials in Sarasota County say conversations about the violence happening in Charlottesville and around the country should be tailored to a child's age and developmental level. Older students will likely be more upfront with questions, while younger children will be more focused on their parents' opinions. Teachers are also told if questions do arise to guide students through the issue of race, hate, and anger using historical context. They also teach students to understand and fact-check their sources when it comes to information about these types of incidents, and to also be open-minded to others' opinions.
How do we teach our history? And that's where it's so important to even our youngest children to teach history, because the lessons of history need to be examined so we don't make mistakes.
Bennett says it's up to the teacher's discretion to discuss the issue. She says that it is important for Sarasota County schools to create a safe space for students both physically and emotionally. New details this morning on a brand new study area for students at the State College of Florida in Venice. SCF officials holding a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Gator Den. It's a study area tailored towards students looking to pursue an education in engineering.
We started conversations 2 years ago with some community partners about how we were going to fill the talent gap for engineering in this area. And when UF came to the table to bring their expertise, it was the easiest yes I ever came across in my professional career. But what's exciting about it is when they start here, they get connected with companies here and they get internships here. So when they finish their academic career, they're going to come back and work here.
Additional benefits to the engineering program include students starting off in smaller class sizes and the chance to save money when getting their degree. And as State College of Florida students get ready to head back to class next week, the college is also looking to restock its food pantry. A program that provides food to students in need was started last year. School officials reached out last year to ask for assistance in launching that program, which they say was successful. That's why they're now looking to do the same thing this year with more help from the community.
We gathered over 3,000 items for our students to kick off each of the food banks at each of our 3 locations. And then this year what we've done is we put another call out to the college community, but we of course also sent it out to the community at large to say, can you help us provide for our students?
The food pantry operates at SCF's 3 campuses in Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, and Venice. You can make donations at any of those 3 locations. 5:09 this morning, and the Florida Highway Patrol is on the lookout for a driver involved in a hit-and-run crash in Manatee County along State Road 64. Witnesses say the vehicle was a green Nissan Pathfinder that failed to slow down when traffic came to a stop. That vehicle then colliding into the car in front of it, which then hit the vehicle in front of them before driving away. Luckily, no injuries have been reported, but if you have any information on this crash, you're asked to contact Manatee County Crime Stoppers at the number listed on your screen. New details on a deadly pedestrian accident in Sarasota. The Florida Highway Patrol says a car was heading east on Clark Road near Colonial Drive around 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. Troopers say 68-year-old George Stenza of Sarasota was not in a crosswalk when he walked across Clark Road, and he was hit by an oncoming car. Stenza was pronounced dead at the scene. The State Fire Marshal's office is investigating a fire that damaged a townhouse on Siesta Key. That fire broke out around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at a house on Hamilton Club Circle. Heigl Avenue was shut down in both directions for about an hour so that crews could contain that fire. A spokesperson for Sarasota County says some AC workers were doing soldering work and it sparked that fire. Luckily, no one was hurt and the accident remains under investigation. And speaking of fires, Sarasota County is updating how it'll determine fire assessments and is now inviting the public to attend one of several meetings. Fire assessments are charges to property tax bills, and the current fire assessment rates have remained unchanged since 2003. The changes are expected to reclassify the area to accommodate for the county's growth since then. Now, those meetings will take place from 6 to 7 p.m. on August 22nd, 24th, 29th, and 31st at one of the locations listed on your screen. Those include North Sarasota Library, Fire Station number 10, the Gulf Gate Library, and Fire Station number 16. Well, red tide may not currently be killing fish and affecting beachgoers with watery eyes and a scratchy throat, but that threat continues here on the Suncoast. Thanks to a grant from NOAA's Prevention Control, students are now stepping forward to monitor area beaches. USF Sarasota Manatee will gather samples from around the Suncoast over the next 2 semesters. That information will then be sent to the College of Marine Sciences, which is working with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to produce a study of red tide in the Gulf. That bacteria typically thrives in the fall and winter. New state regulations are changing the way local governments deal with medical cannabis clinics and dispensaries. The change came from a special session in Tallahassee over this summer. Now the city of Northport, which had allowed for only 2 cannabis dispensaries, will no longer have the ability to limit how many open up shop. The state is now considering these new offices as pharmacies, which means local governments cannot regulate them any more than they would a CVS pharmacy. However, Northport does not regulate regular pharmacies.
Well, the more access for the patients, the better, of course. You know, I'd like to say that I think one of the reasons that the Northport circumstance was as it was is that we actually had their county commissioners here in the office back in January or February.
The city of Venice does have a moratorium currently in place. Well, when we come back, we will have John Scalzi with your weather forecast this morning, and still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic. And high school football teams are back on the field, but repeated concussions are giving faculty and players some pause. And a little later in the hour, an update on the terrorist attack in Spain. That story at 5:33.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Attention blood thinner users. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at an air temperature that's coming in slightly cooler than it was yesterday. And the reason for that, of course, is the lot of shower activity that we had during the afternoon and evening periods yesterday. Brought down some cooler air. 74 degrees our dew point, 76 degrees our air temperature, and a southeast wind still at about 3. That southeasterly wind flow will be switching, become somewhat variable today. Have calm winds at times, and then we'll watch that southeast wind kind of switch more to the southwest and west as we head into the afternoon. 75 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish at 76, so's Bradenton, 77, Lakewood Ranch, Northport at 77, 78 in Venice, and Inglewood, and 80 degrees out at Longboat Key. Had some pretty good thunderstorms around yesterday afternoon. They are gradually drifting or continuing to drift out into Gulf waters, what's left of them, and I don't think we'll see any more of those this morning. Now, as we head into the early part of the afternoon and maybe evening parts of mid-morning, we might see a shower or two start to pop up near the coastline, and those showers will gradually drift into inland areas. As far as current conditions go, yeah, we might have a little bit of a sprinkle down around Northport, but other than that, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot in the way of any kind of issues around here during the morning hours. Certainly nothing heavy. I don't think a thunderstorm is in line until about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. Forecast calls for this high pressure ridge to remain centered over us again today, and over the course of the next several days try to migrate a little bit further to the north. We have troughs of low pressure which will continue to sink southward. If you are traveling to the path of totality in parts of the eastern half of the country over the course of the weekend and into the beginning of next week, you'll notice this frontal boundary. That could create some problems. Could sink south, stall out, and create some cloud cover from the mid-Atlantic, really all the way back into the mountains. Otherwise, high pressure will be the dominant weather feature for us, and as it lifts north, it will turn our winds more to an easterly direction. And that'll return us to a more typical summertime pattern, where showers build in inland areas. And then I'd say by about Sunday or Monday, we'll start to watch those inland showers drift back to the coast in the afternoon. That's a pattern we're typical with. It also means that we'll probably be beating back some cloud cover during the time of the eclipse here locally at 2:51 on Monday afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms will basically mostly be in inland areas this afternoon, although we'll see a few scattered showers starting off closer to the coastline in the early afternoon. Hot and humid today. That humidity is still with us. The feels like temperature will be 100 plus. We'll look for afternoon thunderstorms and that west wind developing once again. Okay, so tropics are active, no doubt about it. We have one tropical storm and 2 tropical waves. One tropical wave, the center one here, is of particular interest to us. Harvey, newly named, continues on a westerly track at about 40. There's not much new to tell you about here. This storm will continue on a track that takes us well south of the state of Florida and will probably remain as a tropical storm. Now, the other tropical wave bears watching. The continued track forecast still carries it probably to the south of our location eventually, if it holds together. It has some issues to overcome as it moves across that long expanse of waters, including some dry air and some harsh upper-level winds. But if it makes it, it could move into the Gulf waters. We'll keep an eye on it. The timing will probably be midweek next week. Forecast calls for a dry day Saturday with increasing rain chances Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at your first alert traffic this morning, looking good throughout Manatee County. Really, the only slowdowns are on 301 heading north and southbound as you head into downtown Bradenton. In Sarasota County, looks like there are some slowdowns as you head past the Bayfront. Also, Fruitville Road heading towards 301. As we head south into South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. Not a whole lot going on at 520 on your Friday morning. Well, across the Suncoast high school football teams are back on the field getting ready for their first games. And for years, we've been hearing about the impact that repeated concussions have had on former NFL players. And a new report shows 99% of the brains of deceased NFL players studied showed signs of what's called CTE. So what does that mean for high school players? Adam Cellini has that story.
Kayan Pinkney's first concussion was a blindside.
It was a late hit during the game. I didn't see it coming.
As the Booker High School two-way lineman laid unconscious, college football aspirations descended into a shadow of doubt.
And it knocked me out. I hit the ground. I didn't wake up. I was out for a little minute. It was about a couple minutes.
After the last school bell rings, concussions loom large for high schoolers involved in extracurricular sports. Over the past 5 years, there have been nearly 600 among athletes in our area, 300 for Manatee County, and in Sarasota County, just 4 less over the same time period. Kevin Eichhorn oversees all high school athletic trainers in Sarasota County for agility physical therapy.
For the past 5 years, they've been pretty consistent. Like I was saying, the concussions have been right around 50 student athletes.
In Sarasota County, Eichhorn noticed a bump in concussion totals starting in 2013. The same year, more focus was put on educating players and parents.
They actually started recognizing what signs and symptoms of a concussion was, and they were reporting them more at a higher rate.
The Florida High School Athletic Association has passed down protocols in recent years, like baseline cognitive exams all athletes are required to take every 2 years.
It really confuses the kids on purpose. It gives them a bunch of squiggly lines that they have to recognize at several points throughout the test. They have to count numbers backwards.
If an athlete thinks they've had a concussion, then gets cleared by a doctor, they retake that test as part of an 8-step return to play protocol.
It's not a measure of their intelligence, which I always try to explain to them first. It's just to see how your brain functions when you're given that specific information.
Agility's records show concussions can happen in any sport, even cheerleading. But football is far and above the highest risk, making up 60% of those 5-year totals. Scientists believe they've linked the sport to permanent brain damage at the professional level, recently identifying the brain disease CTE in 110 out of 111 retired NFL players. That's why Coach John Peacock in Venice High School spent around $30,000 on new football helmets this season, with an extra innovative shell for practices.
You know, with all the concussion stuff going around, we just felt like we needed to try to get ahead of the game.
Designed by a former NFL player, the ProTech is supposed to absorb and dissipate energy from helmet-to-helmet contact.
The concept behind the whole idea is, you know, you get extra pad on top of your current helmet, and then it also allows for a ricochet effect on helmet-to-helmet contact.
It's nice because you don't have to worry about headaches after practice and all that. You don't have to worry about getting a concussion in practice, so you can't play in the game.
Eichhorn, however, warns no helmet technology will ever be able to stop concussions.
With the rapid stop of the body as it moves, the brain is going to kind of slosh inside the skull, and that's what causes a concussion. You can minimize skull fractures, but you really have a hard time minimizing a concussion.
After strenuous mental rehab, Pinkney is returning to the gridiron this fall, not letting scientific studies or fear keep him from the game he loves. In July, the Journal of the American Medical Association published a study that found no long-term cognitive issues among hundreds of high school football players from Wisconsin. However, these were players who came up in the 1950s, and coaches agree more research needs to be done on modern high school athletics. In the newsroom, Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks so much, Adam. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Apple making it easier to call 911 with just a touch of a button. And coming up at 5:30, a third suspect arrested overnight in connection to that terror attack in Barcelona. We'll have the latest details when we come back.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we talk to energy experts about what the total solar eclipse could mean for power on the Suncoast. And our beauty expert brings new fall products. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Welcome back. 5:27 this morning. We have a live look from Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. this morning, where there is a bit of a showdown on Capitol Hill between President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. We'll have more details on what some GOP senators are saying this morning following the commander-in-chief's comments after Charlottesville. And just a reminder, if you have any pictures that you'd like to send us here on the Suncoast, we'd be more than happy to get those. So you can go to our Facebook page right there. There's Ray Collins, myself, and John Scalzi's Facebook. Feel free to send us those sunrise and sunset pictures. Well, it is 5:27 this morning, and Apple is adding an easy way to quickly disable Touch ID in iOS 11 and allows users to quickly call 911. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have that and much more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new safety feature for iPhone users.
When iOS 11 is released this fall, a setting will make it easier to contact emergency services. If you tap the home button 5 times, an option to call 911 will pop up.
Your streaming service bill soon may be going up.
More states and cities are looking into taxing subscription fees to services like Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. The so-called Netflix tax is already in place in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Chicago. Those taxes could add up to more than $50 a year. And McDonald's sent the tech world into a frenzy. The fast food chain sent out digital coupons with what appeared to show the iPhone 8, which has not been unveiled yet.
But it turns out the image was just a rendering from a tech reporter that McDonald's ended up using.
Oh, we thought we were getting a sneak preview.
Oh, well.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
See if you're eligible to pay no more than $10 a month.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Jacuzzi is proud to present our first ever safe bathing event. The Jacuzzi walk-in tub allows you or a loved one to take a safe and relaxing bath. Never climb in and out of a regular bathtub again. Our walk-in tub offers a low step-in threshold, fast drain technology, soothing hydrotherapy, and even a shower handle. Regain bathing independence with a Jacuzzi walk-in tub and enjoy spending more time with loved ones. Why wait any longer? During our safe bathing event, save $750 on a new walk-in tub. Receive $250 in safety upgrades and a $100 Visa gift card. But if you call right now during this program, we'll double the savings to $1,500, double the safety upgrades to $500, and double it to a $200 Visa gift card with your walk-in tub purchase. Going back to where it all began in 1956, Jacuzzi Incorporated was founded and the whirlpool bathing category was born. Jacuzzi's patented Hydra massage jets provide an unmatched bathing experience. Jacuzzi is proud to present our first ever safe bathing event. Never climb in and out of a regular bathtub again. Our walk-in tub offers a low step-in threshold, fast drain technology, soothing hydrotherapy, and even a shower handle. During our safe bathing event, save $750 on a new walk-in tub. Receive $250 in safety upgrades and a $100 Visa gift card. But if you call right now during this program, we'll double the savings to $1,500, double the safety upgrades to $500, and double it to a $200 Visa gift card with your walk-in tub purchase. A safe and relaxing bath is only a phone call away. Call right now to save double on a new walk-in tub. Call now.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Start your day with Ray, Jacqueline, and John, the new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, 13 dead, more than 100 injured after a terror attack in Barcelona, Spain. The latest details on one of the most violent days the country has seen in over a decade. Plus, a showdown on Capitol Hill between President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. What some GOP senators are saying this morning following the commander-in-chief's comments about Charlottesville. And a powerboat team based right here in Florida takes home a world record, the claim to fame they now hold. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Friday. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi for a look at that weekend forecast. Good morning, John.
Well, it looks pretty good. This morning we have a little bit of cloud cover out there, and that's kind of important because we have an 8:03 SpaceX launch of an Atlas V rocket. So hopefully we'll be able to see the contrail from here and maybe even a little flame from the rocket. That's the hope anyway, but we also have a little bit of cloud cover out there this morning. A mix of sun and clouds to start the day, followed by afternoon showers and thunderstorms first along the coast. Then those storms move inland later in the afternoon. Rain chance today slightly less than yesterday at about 30%, but tomorrow it'll be much less as we have some drier air forecast to move in. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic this morning in Manatee County, it looks like there is some congestion on 301 heading north and southbound throughout downtown Bradenton, but other than that, it looks pretty good throughout Manatee County. In Sarasota County, some slowdowns on Bee Ridge Road and Clark Road heading towards I-75, and still some congestion on the Bayfront throughout downtown Sarasota. As we head south into South County, pretty quiet throughout that area, just your normal slowdowns at 5:35 on your morning commute. Topping our news this hour, professional rowing teams from across the world are packing their bags and heading right here to the Suncoast for training ahead of the 2017 World Rowing Championships. Soon, residents will start to see some big changes at Nathan Benderson Park in preparation for the events, with the international event just weeks away. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from Nathan Benderson Park. Good morning, Jess. What can we expect?
Good morning, Jacqueline. In just a few weeks, the first team from overseas Ukraine will be here at Nathan Benderson Park training ahead of the 2017 World Rowing Championships. Now, while the competition doesn't start until September 24th, teams will be in town much earlier than that and on the water preparing. In the next week, containers will be arriving from overseas with the sculls and shells that rowers will be using here at Nathan Benderson Park. Also, grandstands and other infrastructure at the park will soon be going up, while finishing touches are being put on the new lookout tower. Tickets are going fast, and the World Rowing Championships organization saying they've already met 80% of their revenue goal a month before the event. But tickets are expected to go even faster in coming weeks. America is one of several countries that still hasn't solidified which rowers will compete. Friends and family is expected to purchase tickets after the rosters are set. And now to kick off this international competition, an opening ceremony will be taking place, and organizers are hoping that you'll be there.
So we're really trying to push this event. We're really trying to push opening ceremony, which is taking place on the evening of September 23rd. It is a free, non-ticketed event. It's going to be a fabulous display of local talent, a wonderful fireworks spectacle. So we want the community to really come out to that event.
So September 7th is when that first team will be arriving here at Nathan Benderson Park to train, and a majority of teams will be here training. A few of them will be spread across the state training elsewhere, but I'm told a majority of them will be right here in the Sarasota-Bradenton area. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Jess. New developments now as Spain continues to mourn after one of the most violent days the country has seen in well over a decade. At least 13 people were killed yesterday and more than 100 injured after a terror attack in Barcelona. Authorities now say there were 2 other related incidents that also turned fatal. John Lawrence has details.
Mere hours after the terror attack in Barcelona, gunshots are heard in a nightclub in Cambrils, about 70 miles away. Authorities say at least 7 people, including a police officer, were injured when alleged terrorists drove an Audi A3 into a group of pedestrians. Police say all 5 suspects are dead. Authorities believe a third incident, this one a house explosion in Alcanar on Wednesday, is linked to the attacks in Cambrils and Barcelona. 1 person was killed in the blast.
Whoever is responsible should know that the United States of America, together with our allies, will find and punish those responsible and drive the evil of radical Islamic terror from the face of the earth.
We should be united in standing against hatred, standing against bigotry, and standing against violence and terrorism. And I think that's something that all of us should do clearly and unequivocally.
The Barcelona attack is the deadliest event on Spanish soil since the Madrid bombing in March 2004. Attacks around Europe in recent years have officials on high alert.
They've really been going after these radicals, the terrorists inside the country. There have been about a couple of hundred arrests in the last few years.
President Trump tweeted a message of support to Spain, offering to do whatever is necessary to help. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
A leading U.S. hospital says it'll pull an annual fundraiser for President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. The Cleveland Clinic had initially resisted pressure from health professionals to cancel that event because of the president's support for repealing the Affordable Care Act and cutting federal budget dollars to medical research. But the clinic made the decision to pull the event and did not explain why. The event has raised around $1 million each year to expand programs and purchase equipment for the hospital's Florida facility. It has been held at Mar-a-Lago the last 8 years. Meanwhile, Tennessee Senator Bob Corker and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham heavily criticizing President Trump's handling of the Charlottesville protest. Senator Graham said to reporters that the president has not yet demonstrated the stability nor competence he needs to be successful. Corker adding that he thinks there must be radical changes within the White House. Senator Graham also weighed in, saying some harsh words for the president, saying Trump's words were dividing Americans after Trump criticized Graham on Twitter. 5:40 this morning in the Manchester Arena is set to reopen its doors just months after 22 people were killed and hundreds more injured in a bombing at an Ariana Grande concert at the English venue. The arena will reopen for the first time since the attack on September 9th. On that day, there'll be a benefit show to set up a permanent memorial for the victims of that deadly attack. The We Are Manchester show will feature local acts and also all proceeds will go to a memorial fund. In consumer news this morning, Ford is paying $10 million to end a harassment investigation. The automaker was accused of harassing women and black employees in Illinois. The Equal Opportunity Employment Commission found the claim substantial enough to pursue, and the company allegedly retaliated against employees who made the complaints. While Ford did hand over the cash, they are still denying any liabilities, but the company will be taking disciplinary action. Nearly 1,500 employees are eligible for payment. Back here in Florida, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach Tony Dungy challenging all professional sports teams in Tampa this week, asking them to help pay to remove a Confederate memorial statue outside of the Hillsborough County Courthouse. Yesterday, the commission voted that the memorial could be moved, but only if private money was raised. And now that money has been raised, the Buccaneers, the Lightning, and the Tampa Bay Rays all chipping in to raise the $140,000 needed for that statue's removal. And a powerboat team right here in Florida claiming a world record on Thursday. The boat crossed the Florida Keys to Havana Harbor in just an hour, 18 minutes and 3 seconds. Pretty fast. That's a trip of about 100 miles. Boat drivers Jay Johnson and throttleman Nigel Hook were the pilots of the boat. The previous record was set in 1922 by powerboat racer Gar Wood. He took 6 hours. Hook and Johnson attempted a faster return trip previously, but mechanical problems stopped their efforts. I wonder how fast they were going in that. An hour, 18 minutes, and 3 seconds.
I don't know. They're really hurtling, though, aren't they? Just incredible. Speaking of hurtling, we have a SpaceX rocket that's going to be launching at 8:03. Kind of listening to it back in the background there. You might be able to hear that. Those showers that we had yesterday kind of left over some debris clouds, and that may interfere. We'll talk about that in just a second.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic, and the makers of the EpiPen are making a settlement after accusations of overbilling their customers. We'll tell you how much that settlement is for next in your Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
To
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I'm Alan Cohn. President Trump speaks out about the violence in Charlottesville, and even many Republicans are aghast. How is it playing on the Suncoast?
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees, our current air temperature with a dew point of 74. East wind or a southeast wind coming in fairly light at this hour. 76 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka at 76. Parrish coming in at 77. So is Bradenton. Lakewood Ranch at 77. We have 78 degrees in Northport, 79 in Venice, 80 in Inglewood, 81 at Longboat Key. Across the region, well, we had some showers. They're now out in Gulf waters in the process of kind of falling apart. We have one big cluster way offshore. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet this morning. Don't expect to see a whole lot of activity. Maybe a sprinkle or two. That's really about it. Otherwise, we are going to be looking at pretty quiet conditions till probably around the noontime hour. Then we'll start to see a few scattered thunderstorms build along our coastline. And then those storms will be moving into inland areas where they'll become perhaps a little bit stronger. Slow-moving storms could drop a fair amount of rainfall. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us. Still plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. It'll feel very hot and humid today. That heat and humidity will make the temperature, the actual air temperature, feel like it's over 100 again this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms popping up across the inland areas later on this afternoon. Then we'll watch as we head into next week. This high lift north and our winds become more easterly. That easterly wind will take those inland storms that develop and sling them back to the coast, and that could indeed interfere with the eclipse viewing coming our way Monday afternoon. Hot and humid today with temperatures 100 plus, afternoon thunderstorms, and that west wind developing once again. So in the tropics, we're watching 3 different systems, of course, Harvey and then 2 other systems. That one with a 70% chance is of most interest to us. Harvey, 40-mile-an-hour winds probably won't strengthen all that much as it continues to move eastward. Windward Islands under the gun as we head into today and tomorrow, and then eventually Central America. But it's this system with a 70% chance of development that gives us pause and keeps us alert as we head through the weekend. It'll probably be moving pretty close to the Bahamas by the time we get into the end of the weekend, the beginning of next week, and could reach the southern tip of the state of Florida, or really at this point almost anywhere on the state of Florida as we head into Tuesday night. and so we'll need to watch it. Now, it does have issues as it moves along the track, the general track that those forecast models lay out. That is some dry air out in front of it, and then some strong winds as it moves to the north. However, those conditions should improve by Sunday. So if the system itself holds together, and it does look like it's a little bit better organized, if it does hold together, there could be some marginal strengthening as it lifts northward. On the other hand, it could fall apart because of those winds. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll let you know exactly where it goes and what happens with it. Plenty of time to get your hurricane kit in order if it could create any problems for the state of Florida. Though right now it looks like it'll be a minimal system. Daytime highs will be around the 40 to 50% chance of showers with a daytime high in the low 90s. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at your first alert, traffic in Manatee County looks pretty quiet throughout that area. Not a whole lot to really report. And in Sarasota County, looks like Bee Ridge and Clark Road heading towards I-75, seeing some slowdowns. But other than that, 41 looking good, as well as I-75 as we head into South County. Just your normal morning slowdowns for your commute at 5:50 on your Friday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, the company that makes the EpiPen is finalizing a $465 million federal agreement after it was accused of overbilling. This is the second settlement Mylon has made with the Department of Justice since 2009 for allegedly overcharging both consumers and the government for its emergency allergy injectors. The new case involves Mylon paying Medicaid too low of rebates for the devices by classifying its brand name product as a generic, which requires lower rebates. And a new study says going to the gym for seniors has more than just fitness benefits. Researchers found social activities may be as effective as fitness activities in lowering the risk of death. So for those who meet up with friends at the gym or build bonds in their workout class, they're getting a double bonus. Social connections often weaken as people age because of retirement and friends passing away. Researchers say health clubs can help build those bonds. Even seniors who don't plan a group trip to the gym may build social connections by default, making friends with those who happen to be on the same workout schedule. Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll update your top local news headlines, and these longtime friends are meeting up for next week's eclipse. But there's more to this story of the Solar Sisters. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-671-4817. When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills, wow, stop stains, and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your Couch Coat for just $19.99, and it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now, and you can double your offer. Get a second Couch Coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome back, 5:55 this morning. Here are some of the top stories on the Suncoast today. People across the Suncoast are continuing to react to yesterday's tragedy in Barcelona. The terror attack killed at least 13 people and injured more than 100. Plus, new state regulations are changing the way local governments deal with medical marijuana dispensaries, including in Northport. The city will now no longer have the ability to limit how many dispensaries open up. And congratulations to Sarasota Police. The International Association of Chiefs of Police has chosen Sarasota PD for the 2017 Leadership in Human and Civil Rights Award, as well as the Leadership in Law Enforcement Volunteer Program Award. Finally this hour, at an all-girls school in Trenton, New Jersey in 1979, these 5 girlfriends made a promise to watch the total solar eclipse that they watched then. They vowed that they would watch it again at the next one. Now, 38 years later, everyone has kept their promise. Alina, Mary Rose, Danielle, and Amy and Holly are packing their bags to reunite for Monday's eclipse. It'll be a great time for these solar sisters, so I'm sure they are looking forward to that, John.
That's very cool. Sweet story.
It is, it is. So we can't wait for that solar eclipse. You're heading out, right?
I absolutely am. Yes, it'll be a wonderful event, hopefully, if the weather cooperates.
Awesome. Well, stay with us. We'll have more news and weather when we come back.